You know that feeling? Like you're literally drowning in a sea of transactions. Every morning, you wake up to another notification of debt. The career you built was supposed to provide absolute freedom, right? Instead, you find yourself checking your balance with this sinking sense of dread. As the sun sets on another long day of labor, you realize the ladder you're climbing might just be leaning against the completely wrong wall. Well, today we are exploring a powerful NerdWallet explainer that exposes this silent killer of wealth and, more importantly, shows us exactly how to defeat it.
Think about it. You might be earning more right now than you ever imagined possible. Yet, ask yourself, do you truly know the cost of your life? Your credit card balances might be spiraling totally out of your control. You gasp with the total spend every single month. I mean, you work countless hours for a lifestyle that seems to just vanish the moment your paycheck hits your bank account every 2 weeks. Sometimes you're even pulling from hard-earned savings just to cover the basics. It's so easy to lose your diligence in a really busy season. You pay those bills in full, sure, but you still feel that deep shock. And this lack of awareness, it's the silent killer of your wealth. The explainer highlights a really striking question from certified financial planner Valerie A. Rivera. She asks, what does it cost to run your life in a normal month? Now, if your honest answer to that is, man, I don't even know anymore, you are absolutely not alone. But true wealth isn't found in a higher salary alone. It is found in the clarity of your financial direction. So we have a highly structured, finite plan to get you out of this financial chaos and turn you into the deliberate architect of your legacy. We'll be looking at 1, the cost of your life, 2, the baseline audit, 3, the 50-30-20 blueprint, 4, the sinking fund strategy, 5, real-time feedback loops, and finally, 6, reclaiming your financial freedom. Let's start with Section 1, the cost of your life. Look, it is incredibly easy to lose your financial diligence in an expensive and busy season of life. We're talking mortgages, childcare, and just everyday chaos. You might pay your out-of-control credit card statements in full, but still feel a deep shock at the total. Or maybe you're sending off the final payment for a week-long beach rental, or the kids' summer day camps, or an astronomical utility bill, and it hits you, you never actually budgeted for this. You end up pulling from your savings just to cover completely predictable life events. And honestly, there's a real feeling of shame that comes with that. Moving to Section 2, the baseline audit. Okay, let's dive into this. Claiming back your power starts with just 1 hour of total honesty. You've got to look straight at the numbers. Step 1 is to tally up the non-negotiable costs of your existence, things like your mortgage, rent, or daycare. Step 2 requires you to actually comb through your recent credit and debit spending. And Step 3, you compare that total typical spend against your monthly income. This transparency is the absolute first step toward moving your life forward. Because when you understand exactly what it costs to run your life in a normal month, you transform all that anxiety into a hyper-focused strategy for growth. By choosing to stare directly into the eyes of your spending habits, you reclaim the power you've unknowingly surrendered to your creditors. When you finally look at the numbers, you start to win. All right, Section 3, the 50-30-20 blueprint. And this brilliantly illustrates the NerdWallet budgeting framework designed to set really clear limits for your needs, wants, and financial growth. You should allocate 50% of your pay to essential needs. Use 30% for your wants and reserve that final 20% strictly for savings and debt. This simple division of your resources ensures that your future self is totally cared for while you still get to intentionally enjoy the fruits of your present labor. To put that into perspective, let's apply this to a real-world number. If your monthly take-home pay is, say, $5,000, that divides up neatly into $2,500 for your absolute necessities, $1,500 to spend on your wants, and $1,000 going straight toward your savings or debt reduction. Seeing it laid out perfectly like this, it literally removes all the guesswork from your daily life. Which brings us to Section 4, the sinking fund strategy. So we need to talk about how to handle those massive, irregular bills that usually induce a panicked shock. CFP Valerie Rivera calls this lumpy spending. These are those hefty expenses, like an upcoming vacation or annual school camps, that totally disrupt your standard monthly cash flow. We know they are coming, so we absolutely must get in front of them. Let's look at the old way versus the new way. The old way is totally reactive. You get hit with a surprise annual bill, you panic, and you pull from savings. But the new way, the sinking fund strategy, it's proactive. You must spread large, irregular expenses across the entire year. You just divide the annual cost by 12 and automate a monthly transfer right into a dedicated bucket. By preparing for these inevitable expenses that wait in the distance, you remove the panic shock that usually accompanies a sudden large bill, and you give yourself permission to actually enjoy your life. Next up, Section 5. Real-time feedback loops. Now that we have a structure, we need to fundamentally change how we interact with our creditors. Specifically, if we want to get a handle on fun money, we have to stop waiting for the monthly due date to pay our credit cards. When you wait 30 days to see what you spent, you put yourself a whole month behind. This monthly gap is exactly where spend creep actively hides. Let's move to and see how this builds over the course of a month. Instead of waiting, you should pay off your credit card balances every single week, or exactly as your paychecks come in. Frequent payments help you spot spend creep before it grows. Seeing the progress of your discipline reflected in your bank balance every 7 days, that reinforces the neural pathways associated with financial mastery and pride. By the end of the month, you have a zero balance and full real-time awareness of your cash flow. Finally, Section 6, reclaiming your financial freedom. All right, here is your actionable mission for this month, drawn straight from our explainer today. First, conduct that baseline audit so you know exactly what it costs to run your life. Second, apply the 50-30-20 limits to structure your cash flow. Third, automate those sinking funds so lumpy bills never surprise you again. And fourth, pay your credit cards weekly to keep yourself perfectly honest. I want you to take these tasks to heart starting today for a better future. Test these tips out over the next few weeks and just see the change. Your financial glow-up begins the exact moment you decide to look. It is time to reclaim the freedom your hard work earned. You are no longer just a passive participant in your economic life. You are the deliberate architect of a legacy that will span generations. Go forth and budget with a clear, focused mind. I want to leave you with this really provocative question. Will your money be a tool for your vision or a weight for your spirit? You must decide right now if you want to be a master or a slave to your finances. The choice and the math is entirely in your hands.